Thought that a red sugar-free Slurpee from 7-Eleven would make me feel better, but no, I'm very sick. I'm on a lot of Dayquil. Let's do this. Hi everyone, my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara Just Saw. And Tamara just saw The Lion King live action. No! I bought a 5 o'clock ticket for my theater that had this fan event where they were giving out these things, and the tickets were $20. So I should have left at 4:15, but my sick brain told me to leave at 5:15 to get there at 6, even though my show was at 5. So I missed my show. I bought the next ticket, which was a $20 6 o'clock IMAX experience. No one needs to see, okay, but I bribed the ticket guy to still give me the fan event thing. Just for the video, I don't even want the thing. I'm sorry. It's rude. Sick brain. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to go over. I have a deep attachment to the animated Lion King. I feel like I've said that for at least the last few. I said that for Beauty and the Beast, I said that for Aladdin, and I said that for Dumbo. I have a large attachment to a lot of animated Disney because that's what I actually grew up watching. And Lion King is just right up there. It's one of the greats. Oh, I forgot I had this in here. It's my Zazu earring. Sick brain. I have been weary of this. I did such a weird thing there. So weird. I've been, sorry. I'm so, okay. Very high on Dayquil. Okay. I was very weary of this movie from the start because they're saying it's live action, but it's clearly not. It's clearly CGI. I felt myself opening up to the idea, and I was excited, and the theater was full, and there was a ton of kids there. It was really cool. And I had my poster, and I just was excited about it going in. I was ready to hear the music. I think the cast is phenomenal, and I wanted it to be amazing. And it was just okay. And it was weird. And there was some good comedy, and the voiceover artists are clearly doing an incredible job, and the lifeless corpses of these CGI lions and other various animals was a bit disturbing and super distracting. The lions' faces are just their lions, and so they don't have eyebrows or other facial expressions, and so they look so stupid. There is one point I audibly laughed out loud, and it's a really emotional moment, but there's one point where Simba, adult Simba, is having this flashback, and it goes back to young Simba, seeing his father die, spoilers, seeing his father die, and him just yelling, "No!" I was sitting there, popcorn, sick as hell, just cracking up to myself, crying in my seat, all alone, surrounded by strangers. It was truly a magical moment. Thank you, Disney. No! Then you get the whole opening ceremony where Simba's born and they put him up on Pride Rock and the monkey lifts him up. Rafiki lifts him up. The circle of life. It was hilarious also to me to think about actual animals performing these rituals. Is amazing to think of all these giraffes like, oh shit, the king is born today, let's go, brah! And they all like gallop up to it, and then these little field mice are like, oh shit, the king, yeah, bitch, let's go! Let's pregame Martha! And Martha's like, yeah, I'm a mouse! You know? I think I missed a little bit of the next part because I was just thinking about Martha the mouse, like pre-gaming before seeing the prince be born. I was getting real Aslan vibes from the Chronicles of Narnia.
How did it happen?
Because I'm Jesus.
It's also weird having recognizable voices. Like John Oliver playing Zazu was really funny in times, but it's also just really recognizable having his voice. He didn't change it at all. Some of the songs worked, I think, even better, and some of them worked, obviously, of course, not as well. Be Prepared wasn't as creepy at all. It was more spoken than sang. It was less creepy. I remember like the green like smoke coming up in Be Prepared, and in this it was not that. A song though that I think really worked and maybe even better in the live action is Hakuna Matata. I liked it in this. I thought it was funny. Timon and Pumbaa were the best parts of this movie. By far. The first initial poster came out with just the single animals and their names, and everyone was up in arms on Twitter about how ugly Pumbaa was. And he's so flippin' cute in this movie. He's adorable. His little soft eyes and little eyelashes. He reminds me of my dad's elderly dog, Jake. At the end of Hakuna Matata, they make a joke about how he's gained 400 pounds since they started it, and they're like, we have to stop singing this song. And then Simba starts riffing, and Timon just goes, oh God, oh, now he's riffing Pumbaa. This is a nightmare. It's really funny. Donald Glover was great. I think a little less intimidating than I wanted him to be as adult Simba, but the songs were phenomenal with him in them. And Beyonce freaking annihilated it. It wasn't out of place. It like where John Oliver kind of was like a little like, that is John Oliver, everyone. John Oliver as a bird. It wasn't like, that is Beyonce, everyone. Beyonce as a tiger. It was separatable. It's the word I'm gonna stick with. We're gonna go with that. It was separatable. And a lot of people also on Twitter were up in arms about Beyonce. And they're like, oh, well, who cares about Beyonce? She's not a big deal. She's not that good. I don't like Beyonce, blah, blah, blah. If you don't like Beyonce, it's because she's better than you. That might not be why you think you don't like her, but she's better than you. Not even a Beyonce, like, diehard fan, but people who are like, oh, Beyonce. I'm like, do you know who she's incredible. Listen to her words. You know what didn't make me cry? Mufasa's death. The death just wasn't as impactful. This movie was good. It was a good movie. It was a serviceable movie. Let's take it down a notch. It was a serviceable movie, but it's not even close to as good as the animated film. And the death scene in the animated gets me every time. I cry at everything. I wanted to and desperately should have cried at this film and at that point, and I didn't. And that happens pretty early on, and when that happened, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, bummer. One weird thing about the character of Simba is you forgive him when he's animated. You forgive that he kind of has been hiding with his tail in between his legs for his whole life and won't face his reality, and the last minute right at the clutch comes in and saves the day. But that coming from an actual real life thing isn't as forgivable for some reason, and he seems like such a jerk. He's just like, no, I'm nobody, and oh my God, I just wanna Hakuna Matata, okay? It's something I learned out here. That's a literal line. It means don't worry, Nala. It's just like, okay, she's trying to take care of real life shit, dude, so can you just grow some courage, my friend? Then you get Can You Feel the Love Tonight. It was so great. But the romance is so awkward. Again, in the animated, the movement of time feels less rushed than it does in live action. Like when he goes from young Simba to old Simba in Hakuna Matata, it's like, oh, cool, it's been a while, and they're friends. And in this, they directly like call out that it hasn't been, they're like, we're still singing this song, I guess. And it was a funny line, but it feels less flowy. Same with Can You Feel the Love Tonight. So they literally just saw each other again, and now they're like, oh my God, can you feel it too? We're in love! It's two giant lions singing Can You Feel the Love Tonight to each other with no emotion at all. Definitely vocal emotion. It's a beautifully sung song, but it's not acted well by these CGI lions. Can you feel the love tonight? No, something else and something. There's something else in perfect harmony. Something else, something. Forgot the words. As we all know, Simba goes and finds his father in the clouds and in the water, and Rafiki shows him all this stuff, and his dad is talking to him, and he's like, remember who you are, Simba. And I know that's in the animated too, but it was just kind of hilarious in this one because it sounded more condescending. Remember who you are. Like when I used to leave the house as a junior high to like high school aged kid, my dad would always say, remember who you are, like I was gonna go I don't know, get Tiffany tattooed across my forehead and get a fake ID that says Jessica or something, and I forgot! But I just moved to Chicago across the United States. Simba's dad, Mufasa, is just in the clouds saying it to him all the time, really condescendingly. It sucks. And then, you know, everything happens that we all know and love. It's the same story. There's really not many differences. The director, who I'm blanking on the name of right now, Jon Favreau, is that his name? He said that he wanted to make it his own, or their own, while still respecting the original. And I think there's a little too much emphasis put on the respect of the original. Overall, it was just a less impactful version of the first. And coming off of the high that the live-action Aladdin gave me for some reason, I wanted to love this. I didn't think I was going to, and I ended up somewhere in the middle. A weemba way, a weemba way, a weemba way, a weemba way. In the kitchen, the mighty kitchen, the Dayquil sleeps tonight. In the kitchen, the mighty kitchen, my vocal range is super crappy, 'cause I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. Okay, that's fun. I should just write a parody musical of The Lion King where I'm just sick. How fun is that? Thank you so much for watching. Next week is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I am freaking stoked about it. I cannot wait. So check me out then. It's a weird way to end this, but check me out then. Thanks for watching. Bye. Everybody's well here. Everybody's well there. Then I'm sitting here and I'm not well. Simba. Simba.